What's up, y'all? This is Hussein Nasser from iGeometry, where we discuss software engineering by example. And this is our programming series where we just sit down and literally just code and find bugs and fix bugs and add features to an ongoing application that I've been building for almost like 35, 30, 34 episodes right now. This is the ArcGIS JavaScript API series, or ArcGIS for ArcGIS API for JavaScript. That's the official name, I think. So we're building a mapping application. That application, it's a map viewer. So where you pick a service, a web service, a map service, essentially, and then we will basically view that application and then view the table of content, all the layers, zoom. We want to add, open the attribute table. We wanted to build features like identify, right? And other cool other features as well. So let me open the thingy, the GitHub issues list here. So let's see what do we have here. So we have like a couple of bugs, actually one bug, 4 enhancements. We blocked, I think I'm gonna block out an hour for this. Maybe less, maybe more, I'm not sure. So I'm not sure what to pick here to start working on it, but so this is the list of bugs that we entered at one point. Actually close to 4. That's actually pretty cool, right? In paging, the attribute viewer only lists the first n pages. So what's that bug? Currently we list all possible pages for a given layer, which might be a big number. You know what? Let's fire up the app. How about that? Remember, guys, how to do that? It's been a while since I actually coded this. So guys, let's take a look. JS API, and then I think we just do npm run start, right? Yep. Still got it. And on Mac, Hussein Mac 8080. That's the application still. It's the same place, working. That's pretty good. So yeah, so you put in your service. So this should work with any ArcGIS server, really, right? You just load your service and then we'll basically populate all the map services that you have. Yeah, we wrote a lot of code here, guys, and this is pretty cool. So we'll list all the map servers. That's just a viewer, map viewer, right? And then if you pick like USA, view the counties. This is all the counties, right? And we have control over the pages. So this is like 25. So we're listing 25. These are all the counties. Let's list the states. So we have Hawaii, Alaska. All right. Yeah, I think we fixed that bug where we were listing the pages. We were missing the last record or the first record. I'm not quite sure about that, but yeah, we fixed that. Looking good. So that's a map service. This is what do you get back is an image. It's not really the collection of features. So every time you zoom in, if you notice, like this is just you expand the image, but you ask the server, hey server, clip this extent and give me more features, essentially. So that's what we ask for. Okay, Alaska. Hey, we did that at one point, right? Use the current extent. So if I do states now, I only get Alaska. Remember? Wow. We did the spatial query and all that. We on the current extent, we use that extent to use the table of content. That's a pretty cool, guys. What do you think, right? What do you think? I think it's a pretty cool feature. Street, all that stuff. Yeah, so what is the bug? What's the bug here? The bug says if you are zoomed out or if you're not using that. In paging the attribute viewer, only lists the first n pages. So what does that mean? So like cities, look at that. So we have obviously a lot of cities in the United States, right? And that's just an example. But the way we implemented that initially is we were listing the whole pages, right? Just like 1, 2, 3, 4, and each page has a certain number of records, correct? And then we would use that, and then we will basically block that out, and then we would find out how many pages we have. So essentially, if we have like 10 record per page, and then we have 1,000, that's 100 pages. Makes sense? But the problem here, or the enhancement here, is it says we need to only list the first like 10 pages or n pages. Like Google. Remember, guys, when we Google something, let's say software engineering, and then we go here, right? Google like lists, there are obviously more than 10 pages, correct? How many? There are like 800 million pages, but Google only lists the first 10. If you click the 10th, then Google start listing the next 5, right? It's just like put it in the middle. I don't know if I'm gonna do the same thing here, but this is like a full refresh if you think about it. So it's gonna be tricky to do that, but what I'm gonna do, I think, is something like that. So maybe list the first 10 pages and then have another button that give me the next 10 pages. How does that sound? That sounds reasonable, right? It's like only list the first 10 pages, and if the user asks for more, give him more. So it's gonna be tricky to implement, but let's give it a shot. Obviously, I don't like practice beforehand here, so guys, that's why the episodes are usually long. And some of you guys seem to enjoy this episode because not only you don't have to be an expert in GIS or ArcGIS API, right? You just like want to learn programming, and a lot of people seem to enjoy this because you guys see me run into bugs, or run into actual problems, and I try to fix them almost live, right? I don't cut this video. I mean, I only cut it when I'm stuck like 20-30 minutes into a problem, but that never happened, fortunately, so far. But in general, I feel like if the problem is taking me 5, 6, 10 minutes, I keep the videos. I mean, people find it useful. And it looks like, let me know, guys. Just again, let me know if you really enjoy these videos. It really matters to me if you're interacting with these videos, so I know that you want more of this kind of content or not, so I can make more of this content. I've been making different kind of content recently on this channel, software engineering, general software engineering, but this is our GISC stuff. So yeah, all right, let's get to work. Where is that function that build the pages? Where is that, man? That's the populate map images. I would say it's called populate pages. Maybe it is in the attribute table. Pages, populate pages, there you go. So we get the count. Another thing, guys, like you would look at your own code after a month or two and you say, it's like, why did I write it this way? I was like, oh, I could definitely make it better. And that's how I feel right now. It's just like, why did I do it this way? I could have easily did an async function, right? It was like, instead of doing it this way. I mean, nothing wrong with this, right? But you always like want to improve your own code, and I think developers out there can relate to this. All right, so let's get to work. Populate pages. So this is the populate pages. This function can go to definition. I'm using, by the way, Visual Studio Code for you guys out there who are new to this. Feature count, default page size. Remember, everything is constant. Hey, I defined this thing, dude. What do you mean? Default page size 25. That's what I defined it here. So we'll take the feature count divided by the default size, and we get the page count. That's how many pages we should have, right? And what we do here is we loop through all pages essentially. But what I don't want to do here is, what I want to do is only list the first 10 regardless, right? So just like that, I can fix this by just changing this to 10, but that's not a solution, you guys know, right? Because if I change this to 10 I will create 10 pages, but there is no way to create the rest of them. So that's the trick there. So let's keep thinking about that. So here, what we do is, let's keep that page count. We loop through all of them. We create a button, right? And these are the buttons, and we give them the name, the page number, or the text content, which is literally this thing that keeps incrementing. That is the button caption. All right, and looks good. That's the button caption. And then what you want is basically you keep incrementing that. Then you keep adding it to the page and add an event listener to that page. Sounds good so far? Yeah. So what I want to do here is essentially this will, if I want to call this populate pages another time, that's actually pretty cool that we did that. Initialize page. Which page will be the default page? That is pretty cool that we did that. Right? So if I click that, I can initialize the page, and like which page is the default page, right? And I think I thought about all that in the beginning. So when I populate that page, hey, go ahead and populate that, but this is your default one. Select that one instead. So that one will be selected. That's good. It's good enough. All right. We want to also what I think we should do is, when we start looping, when we start from, instead of starting from always from 0, we start from a number that we provide. And essentially this is like, I mean, I don't want to call it a page, but that's like a chapter. I don't know. It's like, this will denote this, like, give me next set of pages, give me next set of pages. Does that make sense? Like the first set is the first 10 pages, the second set is the basically the second set of pages. So I'm gonna add something here called set initial set, and that starts with 0, and that's fine, and that's your initial set. All right, so by default we start from 0, so I don't think we broke anything. So just like that, now your code should just work because we always start from 0. Show me the cities, please. Yeah, works. Now what I want to do is change this to, instead of page count, change it to 10 and see what's happened here. Just by doing that, that's a 10 is not correct, but I want this to loop for 10 counts. But let's just click on that, and that's about right, 10 pages. We got 10 pages just because we start from 10. So we want this to be plus 10, right? Because this way, if this is 0, I is less than 0. If this is 1, then I plus 11. This loop will always be 10 count. This will always be a loop of 10. We're gonna stop after 10, I think. Right? So that is correct, I think. So now what I want to do is, instead of alerting the page count, at the end of this loop, I'm gonna add a special button. Let's add a special button, and let's call it set page. That's a teleport name. Next set. It's a button. Literally next set dot text content is equal to next. Set lowercase in case of it's uppercase. Maybe we can Google. Hope they don't sue me. Yeah, Google is gonna sue me for this app that I'm doing. Oh man. All right. So this is populate. This is what I want to do. I want to add a event listener. Reset the pages. What does reset pages do? Reset pages. So this is when you click on that, you reset pages. Oh, reset pages, which will basically reset the current selection. That's actually good. We might want to continue doing that, but I don't really need to do that per se. Right, and populate attribute table. No, I want you to actually populate pages. How about that, guys? Then, okay, pages. Feature count is feature count. Initial page, that's the tricky part. What is the current active page, sir? Current active page is initial page, I think. And whatever the page that you passed me is the active one. Not necessary, actually. If someone clicked here, it will be the active page, but we will have no way of knowing what is the active page. Well, we're gonna talk about that later, but let's might be something we change all the time, but we'll take a look at that. What else? What else? Initial set. Initial set is actually, guess what? It's the initial set plus 10. Right? Because I want you to give me the next set of pages. Hey, did I close this? Oh, this is not closing. Oh my god, what did I do? What is that? Ah, that's good. I don't know what I'm doing, guys. I'm just like experimenting here until we're gonna run the code and see if we broke things. And I know I did, right? And there's another thing we didn't do. We started changing code without creating a branch, which is bad, right? But we're gonna check into masters. Okay, we own that thing. But usually if you work on a multiple project, you might want to actually create a branch and do your work first. So that's for hopefully next time. But next set is next, and that's what you click on it. I think I'd like to know uh, initial page plus 10, so that will start from that. uh, let's see, so I'm gonna click on next, and when I click on next, I'm gonna reset the pages. I'm gonna populate the pages, and then I'm gonna make the initial page the same thing as the initial page. That's a little weird, which is it will remain 0, which is odd. I don't want that. I want that page to be the last page in the set, essentially. I think initial set 10, and you know what? Why don't? Oh, we forgot to add it. Let's add pages div to that pen child. Next set. Let's just add that. Alright, guys. It goes nothing. What the heck? See? See, that's what you get for having live coding right there. It's actually funny. This is not supposed to be here. This is supposed to be outside the loop. We're in the loop. Don't add that in the loop, sir. Add it outside the loop. Even that should be done outside the loop, sir. Right. That's more like. That's funny. Yeah, that's actually funny. Alright, that's more like it. We got one next. But seriously, guys, tell me, you want just me to copy the final code for you and just like you go through it? This is the best way of learning. Really. Just like like sucking through it and just like going through the things and finding bugs and see me do bugs. And probably I know while you're watching, say, why are you doing it inside the loop? Put it outside the loop. I can always hear you. It's like screaming at me. But that's the fun part about coding, right? Alright, so let's refresh, see what's going on there. Click on cities. So this didn't break, obviously, but if I click next, holy crap, this shit is actually working. I did not expect that. It's actually working. But there's a limit after which, yeah, we should we should learn to stop. Bye. Look at that. Alright, so page 10, if I do next, the bug here is I want, when I do next, oh god damn it, we have to do previous, guys. Do we have to do previous too? It's like if you go back, just, if you don't want to go back, do we have to go back? Alright, so there's a lot of bugs here, guys. Jeez, man. Just like a simple thing, man. Simple thing. Next. If I do next, I'm gonna select page 11. I want to select page 11, okay? Page 11 sounds correct here, right? Okay. And then I'm gonna also, instead of hard coding this 10, we're gonna make it into a beautiful hard coded, not hard coded, constant. Alright, where are we? What the heck, sir? What the heck? Alright, so loop, drawing all that stuff. And then, okay. Alright. So upon clicking and populating the page, I want the initial page to be this. You know what? I don't like just putting this. Yeah, it doesn't work. Let's just put a constant right there, guys. Default set page size, say 10, right? All right, sure. This is this. anything that says 10, we remove it, replace it with that. And then, yeah, initial set plus 10 is like the next 10 pages. That seems to work magically. Seems to be magically working. Okay. Oh man, that didn't work. But why? That should be selected. Upon next, populate pages. Apparently, populate pages does not do the thing I wanted to do, huh? So populate pages. See what I do is like initial page, right? Does this even work? Highlight the first page by default. So if I refresh, I am highlighting the first page by default. Correct? So I plus 1 is equal initial page, which is the initial set. The initial page is that. And I plus 1. Or I, which is okay. I think we need to debug, guys. It's time to debug. So we stop guessing and start debugging. How about that? Yeah, because the initial set, let's say it's like this will be 10, right? Because 0, the first thing, right? This is 0, this is 10, so this is 10, 10, right? Pass me 10. If I click next, I'm gonna pass 10, 10 and feature count, which will call this function with 10, 10 feature count. And we're gonna do is recalculate the page count, which will never change, obviously, the page count, but there's no escape of that. We have to calculate it every time, unless you guys think otherwise. Pages, yeah, delete all the pages and restart recreating. Start from 10, while less than 10 plus page size, which is happy to be what, 25? Set page size. Oh, that's the set page size, which is 10. So 10 plus 10, 20, right? So we're gonna loop through 20s, right? Then we go here, start creating all these things. That's 11. 10 plus 1, 11. Oh, initial page is 10. Oh, okay. You know, guys, this should be plus 1. Alright, so this is the actual page set, right? Starting from set number whatever, right? And this is the actual page that you need to select. This is the set number, initial set. So initial set is ending up the same as the number of the pages, which is kind of weird if you think about it, right? Initial set. Yeah. It's like it's like the initial page minus 1. Yeah, it's like there's a relation between those two. But initial page, let's try this. Maybe that plus 1 did the trick. Doot, 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 doot. Wow. Does that actually work? No. So it did highlight this, but it did not refresh that thing. Why? I do not like that. Oh, so it just highlights that. But why? Why doesn't it populate, or it doesn't do that? Can I do this? Page dot click. Can I call the click method? That'll be cool. I'm not sure if I can do that. It will be nice if I reach the page that I'm supposed to refresh, then just go ahead and refresh it. I think decide that. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I don't think click actually does anything. How can we invoke and command? Oh, we tried to invoke a command, but we didn't assign it yet though, right guys? So maybe if we move this after the fact that we have assigned the thingy. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so after we assign the event listener, let's go ahead and do that thing. Huh. Actually working. How about that, guys? Yeah, this is frustrating. Do you see that, guys? I think we're calling it twice now. Like the first time in this view button, we're calling it twice. Yeah, we should remove that. Why we're doing that? What is the populate pages, man? Where's the first populate pages? Who calls this? Populate pages? There you go. So we call populate pages, and also we call this. If I commented that line out, this way populate pages, the first call will actually just call, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we definitely not need that anymore. And because we have only one line, we can take those out, and this code is much prettier now. Looks prettier. Pretty no, we don't. Sorry. Pretty good. Pretty nice. Pretty good. Next. Oh my god, I have to implement previous now. But before you implement previous, guys, let's implement like a cap to this thing. Right? It's like playing field, lemon. Okay, let's implement the thingy. Yeah, so while pressing next, there's actually a limit, guys, right? After which you can't view more stuff. So what is that? That's the number of page count. So, and that the trick is, if the page count, if your initial set has reached a number that is less than or equal the page count, then we should stop, right? So we might want to disable that button if that is the case. So let's give it a shot. If next set, no, if page count, is that right? Page count. If page count, if initial set, while the initial set is less than the page count, not only the page count, while this is less than the page count, let's just do this. Well, if this is less than the page count, then make it enabled. If this is greater than the page count, then disable that button. And then for fanciness, let's just do this. Next set dot style dot disabled. I think it's called disabled. Alright, so this is a boolean, so we return boolean true false, and then we'll set it here. not quite sure if this style CSS takes a string or not, so we're just gonna give it a shot. Next. Poof, 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 poof. Oops. Holy shit, do you see that, guys? Yeah, broke it, man. I think we need to debug, guys. Yeah, this is out of my comfort zone, this style thing, CSS, as you can see from this beautiful page, right? That I'm an expert in CSS. And I know, guys, you asked me to make this beautiful, but I have to take a course in this CSS, or just maybe dedicate a set of videos, just watch me learn CSS if that's what you want to see. Just sit down and just learn CSS, because I don't know much about CSS, and there are much better people and designer than I do. Okay, so where is that thingy? Where's our friend? So popular pages? Yep, there you go. So you, sir, what's wrong with you? Boop, 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 boop. Come on, why do I have this much breaking points? Yeah, just do that. Oh, what? Oh no, that's okay. Oh, after the loop, okay. Yeah, of course. Alright, so disabled is undefined. Wow, okay. Is it called disabled? Or enabled? I really have no idea. There's a style button. I know there's something called disabled. The D. Alright, let's Google this. W3 Schools, our friend. Then let's search button disabled. What? That's not what I want. Click on ads. Take me to ads. Button disabled. I don't want to see ads. Yeah, just show me this. There you go, disable button. That's exactly what I want. So what do I do? We're back to CSS. Opacity, cursor not allowed. What? That's not. I don't remember doing that. Nah. Really? Nah. Okay, let me try that. Jeez. Let's just do that then. Really? Just not allowed? I don't think so. This guy just did a weird thing there. Alright. So we're always disabling it, are we? It's what? That's lame. That's lame. I still can't click on it. What happened? Use a position to add some transfer to the may make it look disabled. That's just lame. Alright, what do we do? Padding color, green, and cursor pointer. And disable just. But that's what I did. So it's just like, guys, I want to disable the button. There must be a way. There's a disabled attribute. There you go. It's not a star, it's just disabled, guys. Told you I know that. I knew it. So I should have trust my guts. Yes, finally. Okay. So obviously this is not correct because the page count is much less if you think about it, right? So the page count, I think, is, so you can't do like initial set is greater than the page count. It's greater than the page count minus that thing, that limit that we have. So let's take an example here. If I have 15 pages, okay, and my set size is 10, like we do, okay, so 10 and 15 pages, so we have 15 pages, and yeah, okay, so this way the first set, I'm gonna take the first 10, the whole 10, right? The second set, I have 5 pages left, right? And I'm gonna draw, but I'm going to draw the whole thing. I don't want to do that. So I have the feature count, I have the page size, I've been given that, the page count. That's the page count, 15. And I have the set size, which is 10. So, which is essentially 10, correct? But I know that the page size, yeah, so we need to draw only 5 extra pages. So that page, the next set will be immediately disabled, right? Because we only have 5 pages, the set is 10, right? There's nothing to go next, there is no next set. The set size, or the pages left, let's say, okay, the pages left, that's the number we have. The pages left, we have 5 pages left, which is less than the set size, right? That's the trick there. Okay, the pages count, if the initial set, which is true, or let's say do, if the pages count minus, say 15, minus how do I know how many, the initial set, right? If that is minus this, which is, this is 10, this is 15, is less than the number of default set page size, which is 10. If that's true, then disable it. Let's see if that formula does the trick. No, it did not do the trick. Okay, so it did the trick, right? But we kept drawing more pages that we didn't need to. So that's the fix that we need to do. So we need to draw, like for example, we have 143 pages, but we draw the whole 10. Okay, so the drawing here, that's the thing. We're always drawing 10, which is wrong. We need to draw this. That's tricky. So we have to somehow calculate that in advance, right? Because page counts, that's the 15 minus 10. Because we're always drawing this. So we need to, instead of 10, we have to do this, which is 10. This is page count, which is 15 minus 10, which is like this set, that's 5. We need to draw 5 pages. So we need to draw this, essentially. This much pages. However, will this formula holds for every single page? That's 25. Will this hold? Because I want to draw 10 pages every time, but the last pages I want to draw the last remaining, essentially. So maybe this is okay, this is correct, but then we do this, we do that formula. Const pages to draw. Then we do so do this is equal to this default set page if, let's just do that because we're gonna change it. If that formula is true, that means we're running out of pages, then this is your things to draw. Let's see. Then next. 143, come on. Next is 143. Nailed it. Okay. Obviously that cities. Good. Alright guys. I think we're out of time. We've been recording for a while now. We're gonna do the previous in another episode because we just took so long to do that thing. But I had fun coding this, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'm gonna see you in the next one. As you noticed, we didn't do a single lick of GIS today, right? But that's how it goes with this series. So you might do some GIS. Some episode we do any GIS. Some others would be very GIS heavy, like the one previous, which we did the user extent thingy. But yeah, so we did the next. Finally, that's pretty cool, guys. I think. What do you think? Right? That's pretty cool. And it's actually we're respecting the pages and the extent too. That's pretty cool. All right, guys, like this video if you like it, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and hit that little bell icon to receive notification whenever I post a new video, and leave a comment if you have if you dislike this video. If you like this video, just leave a comment and let me know what you think. Really appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in this far. I'm gonna see you in the next one. You have a wonderful day. Bye bye.